Good day and welcome to Predators Proclivity, where we look at data from the season for the NHL Nashville Predators and make comments upon it. I'm your host, Preston Proctor. Programming note, recording this on Friday. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend in Nashville this weekend, and so we've got a back-to-back with Vegas here in Nashville at 1 o'clock, Bridgestone Arena. And then Sunday, a 2 o'clock game in Chicago. So back-to-back games, and they're both in the afternoon. And so nice weather. The data is not going to change a whole lot between now and those games, but I'm going to try to get these podcasts done so I can enjoy the nice weather this weekend. We'll see how that goes. Did make it to the game last night. Did get to see Nashville beat Seattle. We were wearing our Kraken gear and cheering for the Preds, which did not feel weird at all. The first time we did that, which was a couple of years ago, it did feel incredibly weird. Last year when we did it, it was just fine. And this year it was fine again. I felt just fine. A little weird walking around and people are like, go Kraken. And you're like, yeah, go Kraken. But a little weird from that standpoint. But the vendors like to give me crap. I don't know that. I recognize them. I don't know that they recognize me. We've gone to enough games. But and we tend to go to the same places. So they're like, well, yeah, we know you're Preds fans. We just got to give you crap about wearing the other thing. And, actually for a while, like when we were in our regular seats, there was a guy who sat on the other side of the aisle, but kind of close to us that we got to talk to quite a bit. And it turned out that it seemed like every time we wore the opposition gear, the Preds won. And so, we were talking about whether or not it would be worth Amy or Prudence and I investing in more gear for the other teams so to help the Preds win. But didn't do that. Some of the teams I actually have jerseys for, like Dallas and Philadelphia, Florida, Ducks. Yeah, I have somebody else I've got. Who else do I have? St. Louis. St. Louis? Yeah, St. Louis. Just because I've participated in some auctions and the charitable events and wound up with this. The Philadelphia jersey is the one I just don't know what to do with because it's their visitor jersey, which is white with that awful orange and I think one of the problems I have with Philadelphia's jerseys is that all of the names on the back of them look like I stitched them on. I mean, they just don't look professional. They look like they're just an add-on. Oops, wait a minute. We got to put somebody's name on the back of this thing. It was Rathje? I think it's a game-worn jersey. Maybe not. I don't remember. But that one, the Dallas and Florida, of course, the Dallas is green and the Florida is red and the logos are cool and, St. Louis and that's cool. And the Ducks one, I just realized I was never going to wear. It's one of the Mighty Ducks jerseys from years ago, which I prefer that logo anyway. But that one I put up, I hung that up someplace where you won't get to see it a lot. Oh, and the Kings jerseys. Yeah, of course, I've got Kings jerseys. We represent Kings when we go to the Kings game. So, but yeah, never took the flyer and invested. What was it? We were playing Winnipeg once last year, I think it was, and for some reason, I think we really needed to win the game, and I actually kind of looked to see if there was something I could get just to test the theory, and just wasn't willing to pull the trigger on a kind of a purchase just on a whim. So that didn't happen. Anyway, My one comment, good game. Not sure yet about the Woods Marcia show incident. Why the only thing I could think of, and I didn't think to look when they showed the replay a couple of times, I wasn't thinking of this. If that the Kraken player may not have dropped his gloves, and Marcia show did. So that may be why and the Marcia show was throwing punches even though he was laying on the ice. So that might be why it wasn't considered a fight and why it wound up 4-on-4. It always, I don't know. The guys behind me were annoying. Well, the guy behind us was annoying the crap out of me because he would not stop talking. He talked about everything about Ohio State and just the whole time. And he was talking so loud, somebody and on the other side of the aisle, a few seats down, kept looking over at him. He was just so loud, and he was sitting right behind us and just could not stop talking, a group of 4. And he had to be the one talking every other time. And does not know the rules of hockey, and he would just be yelling at stuff, and it's like, oh, man, the loudest people at a hockey game are people that have no clue what the rule is. I think that's just what it seems like to me. It's, the louder they are, the more less they know about the rules. That was upsetting, but he was screaming at that something wasn't called offside. Well, the puck didn't even come out of the net, come across the blue line, and it's like, I feel like turn around, dude. The puck's got to come all the way out of the blue line for it to be, for them to be offsides. If it just goes along the blue line, but he's screaming. Anyway. Kind of a note, maybe, I don't know. Different people have different temperaments, but I think for me that if I find that I am the loudest person yelling about something, that I'm going to have to check the rules and make sure I know what I'm talking about, because I think most of the time when I hear somebody screaming, they don't know what the rules are. They just don't know. And anyway, so I haven't gone back and looked at that, but not exactly sure. Again, a good game, very harrowing. But good win for the Preds. The good tough game. Preds looked good. Boy, the Preds looked really good. Had so many more opportunities. Definitely seemed to be in control of the game, even though they weren't scoring. Hand it over to Decord for putting in a really good game in net for Seattle. And Noonan for stepping in. And we'll get a little bit to some roster changes for the Preds. But yeah, Murray, Saros got injured in practice yesterday, so Noonan not supposed to be in the game. Picked up the win. Played well. Played really well. So, most likely, yeah, here we go. Most likely, he had a Quantum Energy bar before coming in. He's like, hey, I wasn't planning on going in starting tonight, but hey, I think I can make this caffeine and protein bar work for me. 100 milligrams of caffeine, 10 grams of protein. It's got no junk to slow you down. I guess they call him the big juice. Everybody, UC Saros is use. And somehow, I guess they try to call Saros little use, but I don't know if anybody does that to his face. But the announcers were kind of calling him that last night, and I'm not exactly sure about that. But anyway, quantumsquares.com, Preds Pro, 25% off every day of the week. Don't have to wait for a holiday or some special event. Anytime, just like right now, 25% off. Free shipping at $35 and up. And, after you have that, Cozy Earth, elevate the everyday, 21%, Preds Pro, free domestic shipping on orders over $100. And there you go. Buy 3+ items, get 20% off. 20% off 3+ items, but use Preds Pro and you get 21% off, and you don't have to buy 3 products. You can just buy the one you've got your heart set on. 21% off right there. Anyhow, that's we'll move on to the Saturday afternoon game right after this. That's right. The Vegas Golden Knights are coming to Bridgestone Arena. A 1 o'clock game. Not my favorite time. Great game. Usually full. Not why I don't like it, but usually pretty full. Good game for kids to go to because it's in the afternoon, 1 o'clock. You can get out. The game will be over 2.5 hours, so you're out at 3:30. In downtown Nashville, there'll be drunk people everywhere anyway, but even at 3:30 in the afternoon. But hey, you'll miss the real show and can get out of town before traffic gets really crappy. But yeah, for me, it just kind of breaks the day up kind of weird. Get up, have breakfast, kind of sit around a little bit while I go to the game, and then it's like, okay, we went to the game. So the night games, it feels, feels more complete for me. But, anyway, 1 o'clock, Saturday, 1 o'clock. The Vegas Golden Knights, third in the Pacific Division, 76 points, 31, 24, and 14. On the road, 15, 12, and 7. They are 1 point behind Edmonton, who has played one more game. Edmonton has a 3-point regulation win advantage over Vegas. And then right behind Vegas are the Kings. They are 4 points ahead of the Kings. They played one more game than the Kings, but do have a 5-game regulation win advantage. I think the Kings must have the least regulation wins in the league. I hadn't thought about this, but just looking at it, they've got less regulation wins than anybody in the Eastern Conference. Everybody, even Chicago in the Central, the only team with less regulation wins than the LA Kings is the Vancouver Canucks, who have not officially been eliminated yet, but 50 points with 14 games to go. That caps them at 78 points, which right now would be in a tie with the Ducks for first. So not eliminated yet, but there you go. The Kings, not that many regulation wins, 24. So they've had 6 overtime wins and 4 shootout wins. That's not the most. Actually, I was looking at Vegas, thinking Vegas had a lot. 6 shootout losses, 1 shootout wins. Who would have? There was somebody. I get distracted. The Flyers, 9 shootout wins. The Flyers have 9 shootout wins and 4 shootout losses. 13 games out of 68 have gone to a shootout for Philadelphia. Now that's a stat. That's a stat right there. Yeah. Wow. Anyhow, we're not playing Philadelphia. Neither are we playing the Kings. We are playing Vegas. So since they're in third, they are currently in a divisional spot. They do have that 4-point buffer between them and the Kings. 1 point behind Edmonton, 2 points behind Anaheim. Anaheim has played the least number of games of those 3 teams, so they do have the advantage both in points and games in hand. Edmonton, the team, I guess, with the disadvantage, although that's close. They used to have a little bit more of a disadvantage, but now they're in second. We were lamenting last night that the Kings, the Kraken, and the Predators were all fighting for the same playoff spot. And my suggestion is for the Kings to get on their horse and take a divisional spot. Got to get Kopitar into the playoffs one more time, guys. Come on. Anyway. So right now Vegas is in the third divisional spot in the Pacific. For them, this is the first of a 3-game road trip. They are playing in a back-to-back just like the Preds. They will be playing at Dallas on Sunday. Then they'll finish the road trip playing at Winnipeg. After that, they've got 4 at home, Edmonton on Thursday, Washington Saturday, Vancouver on Monday, and then Calgary on Thursday. For the series, this is the third of 3 between these two teams. It's the only one in Nashville this year. The teams are 1-1, with Nashville winning on December 31st, 3-2 in Vancouver, and then January 17th, Vegas. Yes, that's right. Breaking news. The Vegas Golden Knights are playing in Vancouver now. That way, it's harder for the other teams to figure out where to go, and they get the forfeit. No, the Preds won 3-2 in Vegas. Vancouver on my mind. January 17th, Vegas did win 7-2 in Vegas. Last year, they played 2 in Nashville and split those 2, just like they split the 2 in Vegas. And then last year, Vegas won in Vegas. So hopefully that trend will stay the same. With Nashville winning in Nashville, hey, they played out with Seattle. Why not with Vegas too? So there you go. As far as injuries go, not sure any of these are going to be back. Number 46, right wing Jonas Rondberg. Yeah, I got to ask Premium. Premium was over, had to work over in Belgium. RONDBJ. What do you do with NDBJ? Rondberg. Anyway, he's out until March 24th. Number 79, goaltender Carter Hart, expected back on the 26th of March. My notes had him expected back January 19th, January 22nd. So having a tough time coming back. And then number 71 center William Karlsson is now week to week. He had been month to month before that, week to week. He had been expected back as early as January 19th, now not expected back till May 1st. So that, we played them often enough. I was able to track those players. And then, of course, number 7, defenseman Alex Pietrangelo, out for the season, and didn't look it up, but it's, I guess at this point, I think he's old enough that maybe he doesn't come back, or maybe signs a one-day contract with St. Louis so he finishes as a Blue or something like that. I don't know. As far as transactions go at the trade deadline, easy for you to say. Vegas made 2 trades. On the 3rd, they had the trade with Nashville, where they got Cole Smith, and Nashville got defenseman Christopher Setoff, who is playing with Milwaukee right now, and a 3rd-round 2028 draft pick. I still think that's a pretty good value for Cole Smith. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow night. And then on the 5th, they got forward Nick Dowd from Washington for goaltender Jesper Vikman, a 3rd-round 2027 and a 2nd-round 2029 pick. Nobody being called up, nobody recalled, nobody summoned. For the Preds, they are 5th in the Central with 71 points, 31, 28, and 9. At home, 18, 13, and 3. But, 7 points behind Utah, who's in 4th. The Preds have played 1 less game than Utah. Utah does have a 5-game regulation win advantage. And then today, still, probably should stay that way. Behind the Preds are the Jets. The Jets are 4 points behind the Preds. They play the same number of games and have the same number of regulation wins. The same number of regulation and overtime wins, but hey, Preds have the points, so who cares about what the tiebreakers are? There is no tie. As far as tracking the wildcard spots, Utah is in the first wildcard spot. The Kings are in the 2nd spot. Utah has a 6-point advantage over the Kings. Utah has played 1 more game, but has a whopping 10 point regulation win advantage over the Kings. So good luck with that. Hope you're not counting on a tiebreaker this season. And then, so the Kings are in second wild card spot. The Preds are 1 point behind them. They played the same number of games, but have a 5-game regulation win over LA. Also in the hunt are Seattle, who is tied with the Preds. They played the same number of games, but Seattle does have a 2-game regulation win advantage over Nashville, so they do get listed ahead of them. And listed today, currently behind them, are the Sharks. The Sharks are 1 point behind Nashville. Nashville has played one more game and has a 3-point regulation win advantage over the Sharks, so they would get the first tiebreaker, but the Sharks are 1 point behind with 1 game in hand. So we'll see how that all continues to play out. For the Preds, this is the second of 2 at home, having beaten Seattle Thursday 3-1. Next up is the 1-game road trip Sunday in Chicago at 2, then 3 at home, Tuesday, San Jose, Thursday, the Devils, and Saturday, Montreal. The Tuesday game versus San Jose is the first of 3 coming up in the remaining games for the Preds. The Preds have 14 remaining games, and 3 of them involve San Jose. You can play a lot of golf in San Jose. Ha, 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 ha. There you go. As far as personnel changes, we do have a new one. Number 74, goaltender UC Saros is day-to-day, expected back on the 21st, so he might be back in time for this game. Number 83, defenseman Adam Wilsby has been moved up. He had been listed on the 22nd and now listed on the 21st. So that's good. His prognosis being moved up, a good sign for him being back for this game against Vegas. Transactions. Yesterday, they did call up number 32 goaltender Matthew Murray to back up Noonan. He called up from Milwaukee, so I had to look into it and see what happened. So Milwaukee had a game yesterday as well, and so Magnus Krona, the other goaltender in Milwaukee, backed him up. And what they had done before was that they had called up Septim Helter from Atlanta, but they didn't do that this time. On loan from the Warren Mercs in the Southeastern Manitoba Hockey League, goaltender Evan Batty. That's right. They got a guy from Manitoba. He's on loan from the Warren Mercs for Milwaukee. Gotta wonder how all that stuff works. I tried to figure out if there was some relationship between the Warren Mercs and the Preds or the Admirals, and didn't find anything on the very, very brief, minuscule attempt I made. But there you go, backing up Corona last night, goaltender Evan Batty. That's just Batty. I guess that guy they had brought up, whatever his name was, for Atlanta. Maybe they didn't want him again. Who knows? Anyway, that's what they did. That's what happened. That's the Preds on stats. Right, and so we start our delving into stats by taking a look at the first goal. Preds did get the first goal last night. That takes them to 10-3-1. At home when they get it. 10-3-1, that's a record. In the first period, 8-3-1. The second period, 2-0-0. When they don't get it, don't lose heart. 8-10-2, so slight advantage. Maybe not a 2-1, but a 3-2, 3-3 advantage, I guess, is what it would be for the opposition. 6-9-2 if it's in the first, 2-1-0 if it's in the second. So, yeah, definitely the advantage swinging for the Preds at home if they get the first goal. And thankfully they did last night. Oh, my gosh. So there you go. As far as their record, really had hoped that they would win the first period last night, but at least we knew they had to tie it. But they did wind up tying it. So their record now in the first period, 8-9-17. They did wind up winning the second period. So now they're 9-12-13. Winning the second period? Didn't they? They got a goal in the second period. And then, And then they won the third period with the empty net, but hey, it was a win anyway. And so they're 11-15-8 in the third period, all of those being losing records. But hey, the Preds wound up winning the game, won 2 periods, won the second and the third. I was really glad to see that go in. The Preds had so many good opportunities. If the Preds get the first goal, their record in the first period is a stunning 8-0-6. Have not lost the first period when they got the first goal. The second period is a coin flip, 5-5-4. And the third period, hey, what do you know? Winning record, 6-5-3. If they do not get the first goal, they have not won the first period, 0-9-11. The second period also has a losing record, 4-7-9, and the third period, 5-10-5. 5-10-5. Not very good, but as we say, what matters is what translates to victory. And so what we know from the other night is that losing periods at home for the Preds does not work out. They have to win or tie the periods. I don't know. But they the first period they've won 8. They're 5-3. They've lost 9, 3-6, and tied 17 now, and so they're 10-7 in those games. In the second period, won 9. They're 6-3 in those games. Lost 12, 3-9. And then I guess there are some wins and when they've lost a period, but boy, sure doesn't bode well. Which makes me think about the whole losing one record stat, one period stat. And then tied, maybe we'll take a look at that. They have tied the second period 13 times, 9-4 in those games. The third period, very strongly one way or another. 11 times they've won the third period. They're 10-1. 15 times they've lost, 2-13. And 8 times they've tied it, 6-2. So good record when they tie, and it's very polarized when win or lose. And as I said, as I threatened, I guess, just going to go take a look here and see. Losing one period at the Preds, when they lose one period at home, they're 6-3. So that's periods lost one. So that's not too bad. So they're 6-3 in the 9 games in which they lost one period. It was at home where they lost 2 and won 1 because the 12 times that they've lost 2 periods, they're 1-11. Periods lost 0. They're 19-0. Wow, that's a stunning right there. Anyhow, I just thought I'd take a quick look at that since I was thinking about it. And then move on to the core combinatorics here. Let's see. So sticking with winning and tying, they did tie the first period the other night. So tying the first period, winning the second period is now a winning record, one of the few, if I remember right. They're now 2-1-1, the 4 times that they have tied the first and won the second. They have also a winning record when they win the first and win the second. That's happened 3 times. They're 3-0-0. Winning record when they win the first and tie the second. It's happened once, 1-0. And then tying the first and tying the second has happened 8 times. 8 times out of 34, so just under 25%. They're 7-0-1. So, losing the second period, they have 1 win in all the scenarios, but they have got more losses than wins in every scenario. Winning the second period now has 2 winning records and a tie, and tying the second period has 2 winning records and a loss. As far as what the results in the first, when they win the first, It does depend. Yeah. So losing the second has losing records all over the place. So that's the worst scenario. It's better to win or tie. Even if they lose the first, if they lose the first and tie the second, they're 1-3-0. It's losing the first is not losing periods just does not look good. And just a quick look up here, losing the third period also, they have never won the game. It looks like, oh no, that's away. Dag nabbit. Can I just finally look at the right stats for once? Like I said, I think you're right. I think we need to color code this. Losing the third only has a tie if they win the second, 1-1-1. But 8 times they have lost the third after losing the second, and it's just under 25%. They're 0-8-0. Losing the second and tying the third has not happened yet this season, and losing the third, not good. Losing the third after tying the second, not good either. Winning the second has a winning record in every scenario. Tying the winning the third has a winning record in every scenario, and tying the third has a winning record except that they have not lost the second and tied the third, so there's no record there. But those, so winning and tying the third, winning and tie the first, winning and tie every period. Don't lose. Just don't lose a period. It's hard to lose the game if you don't lose a period. All right, so that's all of that stuff. And now we talk about the winning goal. Yeah, so talking about goals, we do start with winning goal, and the Preds are home. The Preds got the winning goal last night in the second period, right? Yeah. So now when the Preds are home, 12 times the winning goal has been scored in the third and 11 in the second. So very close. So heavily in the second and third period, not really surprising. When the Preds win, 8 times they've gotten the winning goal in the third period, 4 times now in the second. So the second period is the most frequent now after last night. When the opposition wins the game, most of the time they're getting the winning goal in the second period, 7 times, 44%. When next up is the third with 4, but then 3 in overtime and 2 in the first. The home team has won 39 times in the Preds season, and 13 times it's been the winning goal in the third period, and 11 times in the second. So that follows. And then road teams are equally split between equally scoring the winning goal in the third and second, both 10 times with 29 road victories in the Preds schedule. So that's over 2/3. So 34% for both of those. As far as goal scoring goes, the Preds are being outscored in every period. Don't think in every scenario, but like last year. Last year they were being outscored in every scenario, in every permutation, combination, or random series of games you could pick. This year, they're outscored in all 3 periods. They're being outscored by 3 in the first, 29-32. They're being outscored by 1 in the second now, 36-37, and by 3 in the third, 36-39. They're outscored in OT, 2-3, but they are winning in the shootout 3-0. The first period still close when in the games which the Preds win, 16-12. And the games they lose, 13-7. So 4 more went for the Preds in the games they win, 7 more for the opposition in the games they lose. In the second periods, the gap between the team that wins and the team that loses increases. It's 8 in the games that the Preds win, so they're outscoring their opponents by 50%, 24-16. And worse stats when they lose, 21-19, they're being outscored by 9. So, And then in the third period, very heavily towards the team that eventually wins. The Preds, in the games in which they win, 26-11. And the games that they lose, 10-28. Almost 3-1 in the games that they lose, and 2.5-1 in the games in which they win. So scoring very heavily in the third period towards the team that is going to win the game, which I guess means, hey, better win that third period. And the Preds did last night. So we've got that, and then taking a look at goal scoring in the different scenarios. Coming into the second period, third period, winning, tied, losing. Coming into the second period last night, they came into the second period tied. They have done that the most, 17 times out of 34 games. So out of 34 games, 17 times they've come into the second period tied. The Preds are being outscored in those 17 games, 15-17. The Preds' eventual record is 10-4-3. So that's good. Coming into the second period tied, not that bad of an omen. Next up, in frequency is coming into the second period losing. That's 9 times, and they've been outscored 8-9 in that scenario. Their eventual record, 3-6-0. So that's not good. And then in the second period coming into it, winning has happened 8 times, almost as many as losing. And the Preds have outscored their opponents 13-11 in those 8 games. So yeah, definitely more scoring going on in the second period when the Preds have won the first. The Preds' eventual record in those 8 games, 5-3-0. So yeah, when they come in tied, 5-4 in regulation, 5-3 in overtime. So, win 10, lose 7. So would you rather be 5-10, 4-3 or 5-3? I don't know. I kind of frankly like the 10-4-3, but anyhow, that's the second period. The third period, the most frequent thing to happen is to come in losing, which did not happen last night. But 15 times it has. The Preds have been outscored 16-22. I have fixed that calculation. I had the wrong symbol in my formula. But 16-22, the opposition has 9 empty net goals and the Preds 1. So before the goaltender gets pulled, the Preds are outscoring their opponent 15-13. However, their record is 3-11-1. 2-11 in regulation, 1-1 in overtime. 15 times they've come into the third period losing. They've managed to get a regulation win twice, managed to win in overtime once, or in extra time once, and lost in extra time once. But 11 verdicts for 11 losses in those 15 games in regulation. So not what we're looking for. Don't want to come into the third period losing. Next frequently is tied. So the Preds have come into the third period tied 11 times. They have outscored their opponents 13-7. Preds do have 2 empty net goals, so they're still outscoring the opponents 11-7 in those games. And the eventual outcome, 9-1-1. 5-1 in regulation, 4-1 in overtime. Come into the third period tied and 9-1-1. You gotta like that. And finally, coming into the third period, winning happened the least. Happened 8 times. The Preds have been outscored 7-10. Preds do have 2 empty net goals, which takes it down to 10-5. 10-5. So the Preds are being outscored about 2-1 in the third period when they come into the third period winning. Not the case last night, thank goodness. But that's not great. Their eventual record, 6-1-1. So that is good. I mean, come into the third period 8 times. They wound up losing in regulation once and losing in overtime once, but eked out the wins in 6 of those games. I guess that's pretty good. Still kind of like the coming into the third period tied, but I feel more comfortable coming into the third period winning. Shocker. I know, it's hard to believe that kind of thing, right? All right, well, that's goal scoring, which takes us to matchups. Yeah, so just talking about goal scoring means that we start talking about goal scoring when we come to the matchups. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Nashville Predators have both played 34 games. The range for road teams, we're starting with the Vegas Golden Knights, is 32 to 38. So having played 34, there are 11 teams that have played more, 9 that have played the same, and 11 below. So they're right at league average there as far as number of games played. They are 15th in the league in goal scoring, 2.97, with league average being just over 3. 22nd in the first period, 0.74, league average 0.86. 31st in the second, 0.71 with league average being 1. But hey, they are the second best scoring team per game for road teams in the NHL at 1.35. 1.35 goals a game. So they're below average in the first, below average in the second, and boy, do they pour it on. So, yeah, just the raw numbers here. They've scored 25 in the first, 24 in the second, and 46 goals in the third. Almost as many goals in the third as they've scored in the first and second combined. As far as goals against, they are 21st in the league and being scored on, 3.06, with the league average being 3.13. 7th in the league and being scored on in the first, giving up a goal a game, league average 0.89. They go up. They go up in the number of goals that has been scored against them, but they drop in the rankings. They get to go to 9th in the second, but they go up to 1.21 goals against in the second. League average 1.08. And then clamp it down in the third period. 31st in the league, 0.68. 0.68 in the third, league average 1.08. 0.4 less per goal. Raw numbers here. First period, they've given up 34. Second period, 41. 23 in the third. 23 in the third. So there you go. They are above, goodness gracious, they're above average in the first and second and scoring and being scored on, and then below. And that's just kind of the reverse. I mean, their goal scoring waits till the third period, and then their defense waits to the third period. So maybe they're so busy scoring goals that the other team doesn't have a chance, but they've given up enough goals along the way. Let's see. Overall, they have scored 101 goals and given up 104. Not the best for a team going into the playoffs, but that's what they've done. What about the Preds? The Preds are 20th in the league for home teams in scoring 3.03 goals a game, 3 last night. League average 3.12. 20th, still they say 20th in the first with 0.85, league average 0.89. They're still 20th in the second, 1.06, 1.08 being the league average. And then in the third, come up to 15th, 1.06. League average 1.08. So their goal scoring is below average in every period. Every period they have, oddly enough, well, I mean, they've scored 2 more goals than Vegas at home than Vegas has on the road. But yet their rank is lower. Home teams, I guess, scoring. Home teams in general scoring more than road teams. Looks like about 124. 3,416 for home teams, 3,292 for the road team. So yeah, that's kind of funny. Anyway, so goals against. The Preds are 7th in the league on being scored on, giving up 3.26 goals a game with the league average 3.01. 9th in the first period, giving up 0.94 with league average 0.86. 8th in the second, 1.09 with league average at 1. And then 10th in the third 1.15. So they are above league average in scoring in every period, or being scored on in every period. So yeah, I don't know what to think about this. So yeah, it could be kind of, it should be a very interesting matchup from a goal scoring standpoint. So let's take a quick look at special teams and see if that might bail us out. Let's see. The Preds are at home, and the Vegas Golden Knights on the road are the fifth best penalty kill, 83.7%, 14 goals against on 86 opportunities. They have not scored a shorthanded goal. Time shorthanded per games played, they are last in the league, 32nd. Goals against per games played, where can it go? But it does go up to 30th. But, they've got so few opportunities. So they're fifth in percentage-wise. As far as the Preds go on the penalty kill, they are the third best penalty kill for home teams in the NHL, 83.5%, just 0.2% less than the Vegas Golden Knights. They have given up 17 goals on 103 opportunities, so they've given up 3 more goals on 17 more opportunities, and they've scored 3 shorthanded goals. Their net rank is 3. Times shorthanded per games played, 6th. So one of the more penalized teams at home in the league on a per game basis, but goals against per games played, 23rd. 6th in opportunities, 23rd in scoring. So there you go. Penalty kills, pretty good. Going to be pretty good in this game. Maybe since it's the first game that Vegas has had to travel to the East Coast, though, maybe they'll still be asleep. I don't know. We'll have to see. Power plays. Let's talk about the power play. Both power plays pretty good. The Knights are 7th. 7th for road teams, 25%, 23 goals for on 92 opportunities. They have given up 2 shorthanded goals. Power play per games played, 20th, so below average. Goals for per games played, 7th. Opportunities, 20. Goals scored, 7th. The Preds, 10th for home teams, 23.5%, 24 goals on 102 opportunities. 1 more goal on 10 more opportunities. They have given up 1 shorthanded goal. 16th in the league in power plays per games played. So right about league average. I guess that would be league average. Well, it's hard to say. 16th would be in the middle, may not be average. Goals for per games play is 11th. And do I actually have those numbers? Yeah, I've got some of the numbers, but nothing to do here. So yeah, it ticks up. Opportunity, 16th. Goals for, 11th. So both power play and penalty kills are good. Should be a good matchup. Looking forward to the game. Go Preds. All right. So that, so we still have the special teams. By special teams information, the Preds now running at 34% in the first period. 10 goals on 29 opportunities. I don't think they got an opportunity. Did they get an opportunity? I think they got, what did they have last night? They had a penalty. They had a penalty in the second. They 2 power plays in the second. Yeah. Okay. And then 1 in the third. Yep. Anyway, so the Preds 34% in the first period, 11% in the second, and 19 in the third. And I feel like those numbers didn't change. Even though we've got the data down here. Nashville power play goal. Yeah, power play goal for Nashville in the second. I have to go take a look at this. Some numbers might not be updating right because for some reason I think that number maybe it was 4. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was 4. Anyway, 19% in the third as far as the Penalty kill goes. The opposition is running at 26% in the first period, 21 in the second, and 16 in the third. Their opportunities are fairly consistent. Number of opportunities fairly consistent across the periods, 38, 34, 31. The Preds getting most of their opportunities in the second period, 46 versus 29 and 26 in the first and third, but scoring the least number of goals. So, but hey, that didn't happen last night. Last night they got the power play goal in the second period. So, so all of that special teams means now we're up to people to watch. Right. So, kind of surprising. It took a while for Mark Stone to get any numbers. I really thought he would be higher, but what we've got for Vegas on the road, these are road stats and only road stats. Top on the list, number 16, right wing, Pavel Dorofoyev. Oh, yeah, I think I remember him. I was making fun, or I will destroy you. I am Pavel Dorofoyev. What a name. That just rolls off the tongue. First in goals with 17, second in points with 28, second in shots with 92. Then number 48, center Thomas Hertl, second in goals with 14, also second in points with 28. Then number 9, center Jack Eichel, first in assists with 25, leads the team in points with 38, fourth in the team in ice time, 2:01:05. First in shots with 98. Second, the team in assists is number 93 right wing Mitch Marner. Shea Theodore leads the team in ice time, defenseman number 27 with 23-28. And then Mark Stone leads the team in shooting percentage. He's got 9 goals on 44 shots for a 20.5 shooting percentage. I just always have it in my name. Mark Stone is a dangerous player for them. But yeah, Dorofeyev's got the goal lead. Eichel's got the assist lead. And Hertl is second in goals. So 16, 48, and 9, really. But don't turn your back on 61 Mark Stone. It's just how I feel about it. For your Preds at home, we do now have a tie for the goal lead. Philip Forsberg, Steven Stamkos, number 91, Stamkos, number 9, left wing Forsberg, tied at 19 goals. Forsberg does have the point lead at 36. Stamkos is third with 24. Forsberg leads in shots with 118. Stamkos is second with 82, but Stamkos is second on the team in shooting percentage with 23.2%. 19 goals on 82 shots, 23.2%. There you go. That's what we're looking for. And we got number 90, center Ryan O'Reilly, third in goals with 13, first in assists with 21, second in points with 34, third in ice time 20-26, third in shooting percentage 20.3, 13 goals on 64 shots. Then we got the captain, number 59, defenseman Roman Josi, second in assists with 20, tops in ice time, 24-12. And then we got one of my favorite players from training camp, number 85, defenseman Ryan Ufko, got a goal last night. I thought it was tipped at, I thought Yost got the tip, but they gave the goal to Ufko. Good for him. Leading the team in 50% shooting percentage with 1 goal on 2 shots. So there you go. He also has 1 goal on 2 shots on the road. So he's overall 50%. So there you go. Got a 9. Watch out. And then number 85, Ryan Ufko. So that's people to watch. What about momentum? Starting off, we've got Vegas. They are a road team. On the road, they are 15-12-7. They have a 2-game losing streak coming into the game on Saturday. That came after a 2-game winning streak, and before that, a 3-game losing streak. They are a whopping 3-7-0 in their last 10. This is the start of their road trip. Their last road trip was a 1-game road trip. They were 0-1-0. Against the Central, they are 7-8-4. On the road, 3-3-2, though. They've beaten St. Louis, Utah, and Winnipeg on the road. They have lost to Utah, St. Louis and Dallas. So St. Louis and Dallas getting a win and a loss there. And then overtime losses to Minnesota and Chicago. Now, teams that they have beaten at home include Chicago, St. Louis, and Nashville. Overtime losses to Colorado and Dallas. So they haven't played that well against the Central, but they haven't played that bad either. Nashville at home, 18-13-3. They have a 2-game winning streak coming into the game Saturday, 4-4-2 in their last 10. 1-0 on this homestand. 1-0 on the last homestand. Playing another team in the division which they are playing the best against. 9-5-2 against the Pacific. 6-1-1. At home here in Bridgestone. I can say that because Pittsburgh is not in the Pacific Division. 6-1-1 against the Pacific Division at home, 4-1 in regulation, 1-1 in overtime, and 1-0 in a shootout. Go Preds! That's right. Hopefully they can keep that momentum going. Vegas is going to be a tough team. There's no doubt about it. Competing for a playoff spot. Just about every team you're running into these days are, not everybody, number will decrease, but for the Preds schedule from here on out include mostly teams that are going to be in the playoff hunt. Not Chicago on Sunday, but Vegas, and then San Jose, New Jersey, no, Montreal, Tampa Bay, Los Angeles, San Jose, Los Angeles, Anaheim, Utah, Minnesota, San Jose, Anaheim. So after Saturday's game with Montreal, every game being played is against a team in a playoff position or hunting for one. That's gotta like that. I mean, 9, not competing against Tampa Bay for a spot, but after the Tampa Bay game, there's 5 road games and 3 home games, all of which are teams that, I guess technically they're not competing with Minnesota for a playoff spot, but the rest of the teams, don't expect Minnesota to drop down, but one never can tell. But there you go. But teams that are fighting for playoff spots, predominant on the schedule for the Preds throughout the rest of the season. And the rest of the season starts 1 o'clock at Bridgestone Arena Saturday. Vegas Golden Knights in town facing our Nashville Predators. That's right. Thanks for listening. I'm Preston Proctor, and you've been listening to Predators Proclivity.